Okay, it is officially summer. Taxes are filed. The property tax is finally paid. And I feel like everyone, us included, just wants to go on autopilot. Like wallet closed, brain off, beach mode.
Right, but that is exactly the moment when most families completely sabotage their year. It's well, I call it the summer trap.
Okay, sabotage is a strong word, Frank.
It's true, though. You survive tax season, you think the worst is over, and then you mentally check out. And if you do that, if you don't use this mid-year window to do these 6 specific things, your December credit card bill is going to literally crush you.
Oh, which we absolutely do not want.
Exactly. So today, we are doing a mid-year money reset. 6 moves you have to make right now to stop the bleeding and actually get ahead.
I'm Lynn.
And I'm Frank. Welcome to Talk and Wonder. We create easy-to-understand whiteboard animations covering family finance, investing, passive income, and debt management. Our goal is to break down complex financial topics, help you avoid traps, and build wealth together.
If you want to secure your future, you are exactly in the right place.
So, move number 1. Before you pack for any vacation, you need to do a mid-year money wrapped.
Like the Spotify Wrapped? But instead of my embarrassing true crime podcasts, it's a list of my embarrassing Target runs?
Basically, yeah. You grab a coffee or an iced latte since it's summer, pull up your bank statements from January to June, and answer 3 simple questions. What was our net income? What were our total expenses? And what is our surplus or deficit?
Right, meaning did we spend more than we made, or do we actually have money left over, the surplus?
Yeah, but here is where I do things totally differently than most people.
Okay.
Let's say we see a $500 surplus on the screen. If I kept our savings separate, I might look at that and pat myself on the back like, oh great, we saved $500.
Right, you'd think you did a really good job.
Exactly, but because I already grouped our actual savings in with the bills, that $500 isn't a victory, it's just idle cash. It's money we didn't spend, but we also didn't save or invest. It just sat there.
Oh, wow, so it's just lazy money. Money that could have been working for us, but it just slipped through the cracks.
Precisely. It reveals your untapped potential. If you see that pattern over the last 6 months, you realize, wow, we could automate an extra $200 a month into our investments for the rest of the year and we wouldn't even feel it.
Because it's just sitting there doing nothing. That's a brilliant way to look at it. Because once you see your real habits for the first half of the year, you start noticing the weird little patterns, like, I don't know, emotional spending during the rainy winter months, or
those subscriptions you signed up for when it was freezing outside and you couldn't leave the house.
oh my gosh, yes. Which brings us right into move number 2, doing a mid-year audit to stop the silent bleed. Because look, since it's summer, our lifestyle has completely shifted, right? But our credit cards are still living in January.
Yeah, exactly. According to Deloitte, the average U.S. household pays for 4 streaming services. That's about close to $700 a year just on shows.
Okay, wait. We have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus for the kids, and Amazon. That's 4 right there. But it's not just TV. It's the apps you downloaded for a free trial during the holidays and never canceled. Or, Frank, do we need to talk about the indoor rock climbing membership?
Okay, first of all, it was a good idea at the time.
You went twice in February, and we paid for it until June.
All right, fair point. But that's exactly why you need to do this now. These things just quietly chip away at your money month after month. So grab that bank statement, look at every single recurring charge, and just pause or cancel what you aren't actively using this summer.
Right. You can always resubscribe in November when it's cold again.
Exactly. But once you've cleaned up the small stuff, you have to look at the big bills. Things like your broadband, your phone, and especially your car insurance. This is where the real money is hiding.
Oh, the car insurance creep. I hate this so much.
It is, honestly, it's basically a penalty for being loyal. Car insurance companies actually bet on the fact that you will be too lazy to switch.
Because nobody wants to spend their Saturday afternoon on hold with an insurance agent.
Exactly. So what they do is they slowly creep up your rates each year. Even if you haven't had a single accident, they just keep raising it until you're paying way more than the market rate.
Just because they assume you won't notice. That is so sneaky.
Yeah, which is why you have to use the 1-year rule. Every single year you compare offers, period. Nowadays, it takes, I don't know, less than 10 minutes on a comparison site to see if you can get the exact same coverage for cheaper.
And since you just paid off all those spring taxes and you're feeling the pinch, reclaiming like $300 on your car insurance feels pretty amazing right now.
It really does. But saving that money is only half the battle, because what you do with that reclaimed cash, well, that leads us directly to the third thing you have to fix.
Rebuilding the foundation, which honestly we kind of had to do ourselves this year.
We did, because here's the post-tax reality check. You just paid your taxes, you paid the property tax, maybe you booked a summer trip, and suddenly that emergency fund you felt so good about in January is probably looking a little thin right now.
Or it's just completely outdated. Like, I remember thinking we had a solid 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up, but that was what, 4 years ago?
Yeah, before we bought this house.
Right, before the bigger mortgage, before we got the dog. If our car broke down today, right after paying property tax, that old emergency fund would literally last us half as long as we thought.
Exactly. Your life got more expensive, which means your safety net needs to be bigger. So that's your first priority. Top off that fund. But, and this is crucial, once that is topped off, look at how much you are keeping in cash versus how much is going into your investments.
Because holding too much cash is actually a bad thing, right? Because of inflation?
It quietly eats away at the value. If you have a huge pile of cash sitting there that is above your emergency fund amount and you don't need it in the next 5 years, you really need to put that money to work.
But you don't want to be entirely tied up in stocks either, in case you need cash tomorrow and the market is down. It's a balance.
Right, it's a balance. And speaking of putting money to work, that brings us to move number 4. And this is probably the most frustrating thing I see people do.
Oh boy, what is it?
Leaving free money on the table, like actual, literal free money with your name on it.
You're talking about the employer match, aren't you?
Yes, millions of people are opting out of their workplace retirement plans. If your employer offers a 401k match, or whatever it is in your country, and you aren't contributing enough to get that full match, you are turning down a 100% return on your money.
Which is insane. There's no stock market in the world that guarantees a 100% return.
None. It is the easiest form of wealth building that exists. So right now, mid-year, just log into your portal and make sure you are contributing at least enough to get that full match.
And while we are on the topic of free money, since everyone is still recovering from tax season, now is the time to look at your tax allowances, right? Not in December when everyone is panicking.
Exactly. This is the perfect time. Most countries give you a tax-free allowance each year, and they do not roll over. You use it or you lose it.
So if you invest in taxable accounts or if you donate to charity, you need to figure out how that impacts your taxes now rather than waiting until the end of the year.
Right. Like tax loss harvesting, selling underperforming investments to offset capital gains elsewhere. It's not timing the market, it's just, being smart with what the tax system legally lets you do.
Basically, don't let the government keep money that legally belongs to your family. But to actually do that, you need a plan for where every dollar goes next, which is actually my favorite part.
Move number 5. Now that you've cleaned up the past, you have to look ahead. You need to give every single dollar a job for the rest of the year.
Yes, because if you just say, oh, I want to be better with money this summer, or I want to save more.
It means nothing.
Exactly. It's too vague. You will just end up spending on the fly, and your money will literally slip through your fingers while you're out buying, overpriced ice cream and pool floats.
Which we have definitely done. But seriously, you need to pick 1 or 2 specific goals for the next 6 months. Is it rebuilding that emergency fund? Is it saving up for a house deposit? Pick the goal and put a hard number next to it.
Right, like if you want to save $6,000 by December, that means you need to save $1,000 a month starting in July. If that feels like too much, you either extend the timeline or cut the goal in half.
The point isn't perfection. The point is direction. You look at your projected income for the next 6 months, you subtract your investments and savings first, and then whatever is left is what you use for your spending categories.
Including, and this is the game changer, sinking funds.
Ah, yes, sinking funds.
This is the secret weapon because look, it's summer right now, but what happens in a few months? Back to school shopping, then Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas.
Ah, the most expensive quarter of the year.
Exactly. And every year people act like Christmas is an emergency. It's not. It happens on December 25th every single year. So a sinking fund is basically a mini savings pot for these predictable but irregular expenses.
Right, things like car maintenance, annual insurance premiums, the holidays.
So if you know you usually spend, let's say, $600 on holiday gifts, instead of putting all of that on a credit card in December and freaking out, you start putting away $100 a month right now in July.
It smooths out the impact. You're basically diffusing the budget bomb before it goes off.
It takes away all the stress. When November rolls around, the money is already there. You don't feel guilty buying things because you planned for it.
And the best part is, if your goals change halfway through the year, maybe you get a raise or a surprise bill pops up, you just tweak the numbers on your spreadsheet. It takes what, maybe 20 minutes a month to update?
Barely, but that 20 minutes gives you a clear roadmap. You're not guessing if you can afford that weekend trip. You know.
Exactly. But even with the clear roadmap, relying on your own willpower to move that money around every single month is, well, it's a terrible strategy. Which brings us to the final and arguably most important step. Move number 6, creating your money operating system. Because here is the brutal truth about human nature. Goals are great, but life gets busy.
Especially in the summer. Who wants to sit inside tracking spending when everyone else is out at a barbecue?
Exactly. If your financial plan relies on you remembering to manually transfer money to your savings, it's gonna fail. You will forget, or you'll see the money in your checking account and decide to spend it instead.
Guilty.
So, you need a system that doesn't rely on willpower. You need to automate your good decisions so they happen in the background while you are literally doing anything else.
So like setting up auto transfers the exact day our paychecks hit the account?
Yes, set up automatic transfers for your investments, your sinking funds, and your savings. Schedule them for payday. The money leaves your checking account before you even see it.
Save first, spend what is left. It is so simple, but it completely changes everything because whatever is left in the account, you can spend it completely guilt-free.
Right. But part of building this system is also removing friction. You want to make it incredibly easy to do the right thing and practically impossible to do the wrong thing.
Like keeping our emergency fund at a completely different bank?
Yes, out of sight, out of mind. If it takes 3 business days to transfer the money back to your main account, you are much less likely to impulsively spend your emergency fund on, I don't know, a patio set.
Okay, that is a great tip. And on the flip side, making the bad decisions harder. Unsubscribe from those promotional emails. You do not need to know that your favorite store is having a midsummer clearance sale. Delete the shopping apps off your phone's home screen.
Just make it harder to spend. And finally, put a simple dashboard on your phone, just a notes app or a basic spreadsheet where you can see your progress at a glance. Because seeing those numbers grow, that builds motivation.
And motivation is what keeps the system alive.
Exactly. Look, this operating system doesn't need to be perfect on day 1. But if you take just 1 hour this weekend to set up a few automatic transfers, your money will quietly do its job and you can actually go out and enjoy your summer.
Without the January panic. If this mid-year reset made sense to you, hit that like button so the algorithm knows to share it with more families. And if you want to know exactly how we structure our automated accounts, well, that's a topic for another video.
We'll see you next time.